Well, good evening all. Welcome along to Prenton Park in Birkenhead, the home of Tranmere Rovers for Grant McCann's first cup match in charge of Hull City. Mid-August means it's the start of the Carabao Cup, the first round. Hull City's first test is to take on the Merseyside League One outfit in Tranmere, who have skyrocketed back into the third tier of English football following back-to-back promotions. A club with buckets of league success. Can they transfer that to the cup format this season? Or will Hull City's new system and new talent be the purveyor this evening? Team news tonight, Tranmere Rovers show one change from their trip to the South Coast, a 2-0 defeat against Pompey. Corey Blackett-Taylor replaces Connor Jennings in their starting 11. A notable man is Ollie Banks, who's a former North Ferriby United player, but most of this side featured in League Two last year. Going up top for Tranmere will be Morgan Ferrier, who actually netted for Walsall at this stage against Tranmere Rovers on this very ground this time last season. Connor Jennings finds a place on the bench. His other 6 teammates are all there from the Portsmouth match on Saturday as well. Grant McCann changes the whole deck for tonight's Carabao Cup first round tie. Matt Ingram gets his competitive debut along with Matt Pennington, Leonardo da Silva Lopez and Josh McGuinness. George Honeyman captains the team tonight, with Ryan Taffazoli getting to come into the starting 11 for the first time this season. Robbie McKenzie and Brandon Fleming are the young ones out wide, but let's not forget David Milinkovic, who gets his first ever starting 11 place too, and John Terrell, who netted this time last year against Sheffield United in the Carabao Cup. Referee this evening is Sebastian Stockbridge, who refereed Tranmere Rovers on one occasion last season. It was a 1-1 draw against Oldham. But Tranmere Rovers bouncing back into the third tier, where the Tigers last took on Tranmere at this ground in 04-05, a 3-1 victory that afternoon. The last time these two met was actually in the League Cup back in 2006-2007, a 2-1 victory for the Tigers that night, as Hull also saw off Hartlepool in that campaign to reach the third round before being knocked out by Watford at Vicarage Road. But with it being mid-August, the sun is shining down on Prenton Park. It is a glorious night for football, not too hot, not too chilly, and the fans from Tranmere have turned out in decent force, along with the Tigers, who've brought a good following as well. A ground tick for many, and the question is, will the Tigers be getting any more potential ground ticks in this competition? We're about set then to get things underway here. Hull City in the black and amber stripes, Tiger stripes across the chest, and Tranmere in white with blue shorts. Who is going to be the purveyor in the first cup action of the season? We'll find out tonight. There has to be a winner. Will it be the League One newcomers, or will it be the Tigers? Scott Davis, Tranmere's captain, with his first kick of the ball, and it doesn't travel far. Here's Milinkovic teeing it up for Fleming, straight in for Terrell. What a start for Hull City. A look at the clock, just 19 seconds on it, and John Terrell, who scored this time last year, has wasted no time at all in putting Hull City in front. Couldn't have asked for a better start here at Prenton Park. All came about from the poor distribution by Scott Davis, and then Tranmere couldn't actually recover the situation. The ball worked wide, Milinkovic starting it off, playing it to Fleming. A delightful cross with plenty of swerve, right on target for Terrell, who times his run perfectly and isn't going to miss from close range. It appears he likes this round of the Carabao Cup, and Hull City lead after just 1 minute. I'd say only about half a dozen players actually got a touch of the ball before Terrell was able to put it into the back of the net. So that is the perfect start, and if there was any noise coming from Tranmere's areas of the ground, there doesn't appear to be any right now. Tigers fans in full voice already. Header by Ridley. Manny Munthe, man from Cameroon. A free kick given Tranmere's way up the pitch. First foul of the evening, and their first real opportunity to actually get into Hull City's half. Tranmere have lost their opening 2 games in the league, beaten here by Rochdale 3-2, and seen off as well by Pompey at the weekend. And in another step up in test, Hull City have wasted no time in able to get 1 goal as Milinkovic tries to find McGuinness. Well intercepted by Honeyman. Tafazoli. And now Milinkovic. McKenzie finds Newman Lopez. That was a little bit behind Fleming, but Hull's still in control of the ball with Honeyman. Rolls it into Terrell, and that's well played there by David Perkins, who has been on the winning side in the Cup before against Hull City with Barnsley. And again, well recovered by the Tigers, and then possession lost once more. Attempted switch to find Blackett-Taylor. He's going to have a run here at McKenzie, and he does very well. Ball goes behind for a corner, but a decent response from Tranmere. So Tranmere just trying to knock on the door for the first time, and they're sending the big men up from the back here to try and cause problems, but the Tigers, every single one of them in the box, leaving nobody up. Little flick, glancing header by McKenzie, and Bowler here will scrap with Blackett-Taylor for the ball. And then Lopez over on the far side. It does well, and it's Hull City's throw-in. So a 3-1 victory the last time the Tigers came to this part of the world. And the man who played for both clubs, Kevin Ellison, was among the goal scorers. Most famously that season, the Tigers put 6 past Tranmere at the KCOM Stadium, with another former Tiger having to play the second half in goal in Theodore Whitmore. And let's not forget Ian Goodison, who was on the pitch that day as well. Terrell putting the pressure on here. First attempted clearance was sliced, and Pennington was being battled there by Morgan Ferrier, and it is actually the Tigers who get the free kick, to some form of protest from the home crowd. Well, we thought the Tigers couldn't score earlier on than their 2 previous games in the 3rd and the 5th, but literally 20 seconds gone. Terrell managing to find the net. That ball is too long by Matt Ingram, and it goes from keeper to keeper. And Scott Davis dishes the ball out to the edge of the box. McGuinness. Now then, opportunities to shoot for the first time. Good save from Davis. Honeyman keeps it alive, carves out a cross. It's Milinkovic, and it's going to trickle in for another. An architect in the first goal, and he's managed to scrap and get the ball over the line for his first goal in a black and amber shirt. Salutes the skies and goes over to salute the crowd as well. What a start. Couldn't have asked for a better start here at Prenton Park. 6 minutes gone, and already Hull City getting the better of the League One club. 2 opportunities, 2 goals taken. Long ball played forward by Tranmere Rovers, and Matt Ingram will give that one a little pat in just to bring it back under his control. I don't think anyone will be less than elated in Hull City quarters. And Grant McGann just having a walk down the bench with a smile on his face. Throw-in taken, flicked on by Ollie Banks. Darren Potter tries to play it towards Blackett-Taylor. Bowler scampering back, puts it out of play. Great energy shown already from Hull City in the opening 7 minutes, and not being wasteful either. Terrell gathers, pokes it into the middle for Honeyman. Look at the space Hull City have got here. Tranmere playing 4-2-3-1. Half of their midfield's gone missing. Terrell can't keep that one under his control. It was a little bit too much weight on it, and Milinkovic puts his hand up in apology. But undoubtedly, in the opening 7.5 minutes of this match at Prenton Park, Milinkovic has proved what a player he can actually be for Hull City after not getting many chances last year. Proved some form of point and being a provider in both moments of this match. It's Milinkovic's first goal as a professional since playing up in Scotland for Hearts. Tafazoli under pressure. You'd have to say Scott Davis should probably have done better. It may even go down as an own goal. Lopez. Running forward is McKenzie. Bowler staying wide to create an option there, and he's wriggled his way past two men as well. Chance perhaps again, and Scott Davis, very luckily for Tranmere, is able to keep that one out. It bumpered off various Tranmere players inside the 6-yard box, and Scott Davis comes out to talk to his players in almost a sense of get your act together. That's what the fans think anyway behind him. Milinkovic to deliver. Nodded down, Terrell couldn't get a touch. Pennington. Terrell can keep this in, and McGuinness just almost manages to get a connection. It will now be caught by Davis. But how many chances have Hull City had here? And we haven't even played 10 minutes. It could have been 3 very easily. Honeyman, free kick given this time Tranmere's way. And it's back with George Ray, former crewman, making his step up to League One for the first time. Darren Potter. Tafazoli manages to get a good connection, but it's a good block for the side from Merseyside. Ball launched away, and McGuinness isn't going to waste too much time in trying to latch on to that one. Here's Ray. Ollie Banks. McKenzie. Now Bowler. Perkins. Tranmere trying to get it down and play inside Hull City's half, and the force back again here. Milinkovic is striding on at pace, forced all the way back towards the keeper, the home side. Looking to try and come forward here with Kane Wilson, West Brom loanee. Attempted cross, easily headed away by McKenzie, probably one of the easiest ones he'll have to deal with all evening. Milinkovic has gone in search of McGuinness here, and Tranmere almost get themselves in a real tangle at the back. Didn't look to be the most convincing of clearances at all by Scott Davis. I think he was caught off guard ever so slightly as Manny Month came in, and in the end it has to be pushed out of play for a throw-in, and it's an attacking one as well. Hull City in the final third again. Terrell, home side, trying to reach some form of crescendo to get behind their side, who already find themselves 2 goals down, but could now maybe try and run at the Tigers' defence. Blackett-Taylor, well blocked by McKenzie, and he's done even better to actually keep it in play and hoist it out for a throw-in. Perkins. Ollie Banks working it across now as Tranmere try and settle things down. Well played again by Milinkovic. Tafazoli can play that one casually away. That's a good flick on as well. Honeyman, of course, made his debut and really hit the scene with Sunderland in the Carabao Cup away at Bury a couple of seasons ago, and since then has gone on to captain Sunderland before coming here. Here's Perkins though for Tranmere in the build-up. First real dangerous attack, they try and work it back, and in comes Fleming with a brilliant challenge. Excellent defending from the two youngsters out wide so far. In what is quite a youthful side tonight for Hull City, however, Lopez just hobbling ever so slightly, but up on his feet now. Perkins goes back towards the keeper. The captain has not controlled his ship well so far. In comes McGuinness. The Tigers are hungry here for a third goal, and Terrell fancies a shot. Needs to do better than that. Honeyman coming out to charge. In comes Mackenzie again, and McGuinness lucky there, not able to bring it in. Darren Potter. Probably the most experienced man on the pitch for Tranmere Rovers, has the ball again. Blackett-Taylor comes in. Looks to be a decent switch out wide. Cleared away again, this time by Pennington, making debut tonight, as previously played for Tranmere Rovers. And most recently been out on loan, of course, at Leeds and Ipswich. Finds himself at centre-back tonight alongside Tafazoli. That's poorly given away by Perkins. And McGuinness trying to stride on at pace and then just loses his footing. It was a good challenge from the defence. And you would feel here a third goal for Hull City could almost spell game over, in the way the confidence from both goals sapped Tranmere Rovers. That'll be throwing the home side's way, who need a few minutes of being able to dictate the tempo, because at the moment it is the Tigers who are bossing things. Potter. It's easy enough defending for the Tigers. Pennington gathers. This will go back to Ingram, taking the opportunity in goal from George Long, who had a great performance against Reading. Best clearance away. Bowler goes hunting. Now Honeyman wants to come and join. Mackenzie doesn't win that one, so Blackett-Taylor can now stride into the box, and that's saved well by Ingram. He's pushed it into a slightly dangerous area, but as long as Hull City get it clear, as Honeyman does now, playing it down the line, that's good work from the Tigers, and now defence can potentially turn into attack. Bowler pushed over, that'll be a free kick. Mackenzie was very unfortunate. He committed himself, the ball just staying in play, and then Blackett-Taylor was able to stride into the penalty area, but Ingram staying strong and firm and putting in a save. That's a clever through ball by Terrell. Bowler, first time cross towards that back post. It will be played back across and it will be a Hull City corner. Just had a little bit too much on it. Tafazoli unable to flick it back across to cause problems, but maybe Milinkovic can from the upcoming corner. Milinkovic then to swing this one in. Very close though to Scott Davis, who dealt with the pressure and was able to put out a fist to punch it. And a throw in to come here. McKenzie taking his time and looking for where the men in black and amber are. McKenzie, Terrell rolls over the laces of Bowler's boots. It's headed out of play by Blackett-Taylor. McKenzie with the throw-in. McGuinness getting involved again. And Bowler putting enough pressure on to force Tranmere to put it out once more. Blackett-Taylor, another player formerly of Walsall, who features here this evening. But here's Morgan Ferrier, another man from the Midlands-based club. Perkins wanted to get on with things very quickly. Here's Ollie Banks. Another long throw chucked in by McKenzie. Honeyman's header. And now Bowler. He's done really well there to get the block in. He gets another one in as well, and it will stay in play. And that has come off the Tranmere Rovers man as well. So brilliant play there by Bowler in the circumstances. Looked to be decent play there by Blackett-Taylor, but Lopez gathers in midfield. Tafazoli fancying a stride forwards. Milinkovic, Fleming coming to overlap. Milinkovic fancies doing a bit of spade work all by himself. Tafazoli, Honeyman filling in the pocket. Pennington, well worked from left to right by Hull. Bowler replacing Bowen this evening, who occupies a place on the bench. It's a strong bench for the Tigers this evening. Grant McCann not taking any chances, just in case. Terrell. Bowler. McGuinness looking to get into the penalty area, but Bowler may just try this himself. And that will be a goal kick. It just grazed Bowler's shin there from the initial contact by Tranmere. And that will be a goal kick for the home side. Good header won by Pennington. Honeyman trying to win it back. Now Terrell comes in to help out. And there's a little bit too much there in the eyes of the referee. A quick free kick, which again is taken and can only easily find a Hull City defender, just waiting to nod it away. Tafazoli approaching the halfway point of the first half. Couldn't have gone much better for Hull City, leading by 2-0. Long ball played forward. Terrell with the desire to get there first. Milinkovic, Two goal scorers combining. Terral now. And a high foot is signalled by the referee. It will be a free kick. Tranmere have tightened things up slightly and got to grips with the onslaught that Hull City dished out in the opening 10 minutes. And that crossfield ball can only find the touchline, and the fans in the first few rows of the Johnny King stand, one of the famous managers of Tranmere Rovers, led Tranmere to Wembley on various occasions. Pennington, McGuinness, Blackett-Taylor, who's had lots of the ball so far, barely featured for Walsall last year, getting his first real opportunity as a League One level. Lopez has done very well there, snuck up silently on Ollie Banks, and he's played the ball in for Bowler, and that's a save there by Scott Davis, which didn't really require much of his goalkeeping talent that time. Very well won in the midfield as well by the new man, getting his first taste of life in Hull City colours. Ball played over the top for Ferrier. Perkins. And that little deflection just carrying the ball nicely into the path of Ingram. Looked to be a decent cross at first. Milinkovic, Fleming off on his travels again from full-back, and he's won a throw-in once more for the visitors. McGuinness. Terral was able to step past one man. On Mackenzie. 3 to aim at ahead of him. Tries to play it in and just had a little bit too much on it, but thumb up in appreciation by Josh McGuinness, who only got 4 goals last year but was at Bolton, who had a torrid time in the Championship, and more of a striker who likes to hold the ball up and be able to feed it into the direction of the wingers, so you never know, he could really benefit Grzycki and Bowen should he play alongside him. Just stepped out of position there as Terral looked to play him in. Milinkovic managing to get a piece of the ball there. It's poked back into Tranmere's defence again. Pennington is out-muscled in the air. Ferrier working it wide. Tranmere with a good chance potentially, but the ball intercepted by Terral. Never seen this kind of ability from John Terral, able to hunt and intercept the ball back. He's been more of the playmaker with the good touch, and he was hungry for the ball there as Pennington worked it down the line. Terral just asking the question, but that shows real intent that he wants as much as the ball as possible to help his teammates out. Bowler. Perkins, first time he's had some real space in midfield, but as you can see, Honeyman closing that space down almost immediately. Blackett-Taylor down the line for Tranmere. That's a decent looking ball, but Fleming watching it all the way, and a no-nonsense clearance from him. Aimed back in that time by Potter, and a free kick goes Hull City's way as Fleming feels the force of the challenge. Has played well whenever he's got the opportunity to feature, Brandon Fleming, and he will be keeping things simple, you would imagine, this evening once more as a defender. First opportunity to get the ball away, do so. Hold your position in the line. with Mackenzie at right back, who has more first team experience now. And the difference 1 year has made, you can see that he is a different player. 18 games last year under Nigel Adkins. And starting to begin to show real talent. Perkins and Tafazoli will mop up at the back towards Ingram, who's only had to really make one save so far. Pennington. The eeriness suddenly of Prenton Park makes it feel a bit like a pre-season match. As Bowler gathers. Tranmere standing off at the moment. Mackenzie. Lopez trying to feed it through the legs of Ollie Banks. That's well worked. But then very well played by Lopez. Bowler. Fed into the middle for Milinkovic. It was a clever 1-2 which would have been successful had it not been for the trip. Quick free kick taken. Tranmere need to be steady. Bowler to Milinkovic. Fed to the edge of the area. Terrell has a shot at goal, but never troubling. Always drifting away from goal that time. Stats so far, Tranmere have had the possession, but Hull City have had bucket loads more shots. 9 shots to 1 so far. Grant McCann's all-out attack philosophy paying dividends at the moment. Lopez hoists it clear. Needed to be a strong header from Manny Munthe. Ferrier asks the question of whether he could have had a free kick. Nothing given by Sebastian Stockbridge, tonight's referee, who's never reffed a Hull City match. Milinkovic. Battle of the number 7s as he likes to go around Kieran Morris. Another man who's been brought in from Walsall. Pennington. Tafazoli just tiptoeing forward up towards halfway, sets his sights on the long ball. The destination was towards Honeyman. And Tranmere clear their lines again. Mackenzie. Decent enough control to find Lopez, who's got a big circumference of space around him. And he could have used that space as well. Don't think Fleming was probably anticipating that pass. And Tranmere get a cheap throw in. Well recovered by Fleming and Terrell. Milinkovic using that momentum to gather the ball. Honeyman, he can feed it wide. Tigers in the box again. It's McGuinness, carves out a shot. The deflection will take it behind for a corner. But now the Tigers really starting to queue up, really. Whoever's got a black and amber shirt on fancies their chances in and around the box. This time it was the striker looking to try and get goal number 3. But Tranmere's defence built a wall there to repel the chance. It's Milinkovic's delivery. This time it only finds Perkins. Fleming, great tackle, expertly done. Tranmere feel that he was airborne there, but nothing given. Took everything of the ball. Terrell, who's managing to try and step away from his men as the tackles now start to fly. It's the League One club who gather possession. Ferrier will have a drive here at Mackenzie, overlapping man. The cross is supplied as well. That's not the best of clearances, but Ingram can collect that one very casually into the basket. Mackenzie proving he's got a nutmeg in him. McGuinness, now Bowler. Some of the Tigers passing play has been very pleasing to the eye. Milinkovic looking to get into the penalty area, actually goes down. Tranmere man doing enough to get some piece of the ball there. Pennington standing his ground, and that will be a free kick. Ferrier going to ground. Pennington not the most statured of centre halves, but he proved to be the winner of that tussle, only for the referee to award a free kick in the other direction. Looking at the system Tranmere have got out tonight as well, looks as more of a classic 4-5-1 rather than a 4-2-3-1, with a blend of youth and, in fact, Champions League experience. Darren Potter has played in Liverpool's Champions League run of 2005, played against Bayer Leverkusen. Lopez just leaving a leg, and that will be another free kick, and Tranmere are asking the question of whether there should be more action taken. And that one was on Liam Ridehalgh, who's been at the club since 2013-14. One of the longest serving players in the club, considering their rise through the divisions. The winner of that aerial contest was the Tigers. Fleming gets up well as well, and Milinkovic doing well to spin away. Terral can just get through. Tranmere have really struggled just to actually read where the ball's going to go in this match, but Potter does well to get the tackle in. Perkins, Honeyman and Terral trying to gang up, and now it'll be gathered by Pennington. McGuinness, and that will be a free kick as McGuinness is sent careering away from the challenge. Josh McGuinness just walking away. He's had a couple of chances, one of which produced a save from the keeper, which would have made it 3-0 after just 10 minutes. Clever ball down the line for Milinkovic. Bowler trying to get involved in the box. Milinkovic, to be honest, his options were limited in who he could find in black and amber. And that'll be a corner given Hull City's way. And there's not much complaint from the actual touchline or the byline in Tranmere colours. It was the fans who were convinced it should have been a goal kick or a free kick. But nevertheless, Hull City get the corner. Will Tranmere fans' emotions be running even hotter if Milinkovic can find a man inside the area to potentially make this 3-0? Milinkovic's swerving ball. Here's Fleming, and he can only find the fans behind the goal that time. Terral causing the challenge that time. And Pennington even. And there's going to be a word here by the referee. Laying down the letter of the law. It didn't look to be too bad a challenge, which deserves some form of talking to. Maybe just be a lecture, as if say any more of that, the cards will start flourishing. That ball is launched into the penalty area. Here's Honeyman. And cleared away by Lopez. It's been good from the midfield tonight. So far, so good. Milinkovic. Lopez again, he's got a big pocket of space to work with. Just feeds it into the path of Pennington. McKenzie fancies the long ball down the line. Can Bowler keep this one in? He just about does so. The ball brushing the white paint to the touchline. And now the Tigers get the ball up the pitch. Still appears that Robbie McKenzie does like the Nigel Adkins long ball down the line. And it has brought a throw in for Hull City inside the final third. Could pop through to Terral. Just clips the heel of Bowler. That was a little bit unlucky. Easily defendable for Tafazoli, and then the flick on was good, and then George Ray just shaking the nerves of the Tranmere fans in the giant Cup stand away to my right hand side here at Prenton Park. Scott Davis had strided a couple of steps over. No nightmare situation for Tranmere that time. Midfield though having a bit of a torrid night as Hull are able to press and win the ball back, but Tranmere now get it back, and there's a man over on that right hand side. Ball played in. It was Ferrier who was the intended target. Tranmere get the throw in and get on with things quickly. They gave a gentle tap on the door there to the Hull City defence, Tranmere, but they're going to have to knock harder than that. Pennington, now Lopez, going searching Mackenzie, who has the confidence to let the ball run. And they went searching for a man upfield, but to no avail. Got 7 minutes left of the half of normal time. Not the most conventional of ways to get the ball back by Mackenzie, but it did the job. Honeyman. Now Lopez. Bowler. You can try and nod it down. It wasn't the best angle of attack there. Tranmere though still penned inside their own half of the pitch. Still with just their one solitary shot at goal, which was easily saved by Ingram. And as things stand, the Tigers leading by 2. But are Tranmere now going to start to work their way through the gears to try and create some more shooting opportunities? They're being forced back at the moment. Perkins across to Manny Monthe. Ferry. Ollie Banks. Wide men pushing forward here for Tranmere as they look to get into the penalty area. Milinkovic is back helping out. Ooh, Lopez there, just getting his bearings a little bit wrong, but Ingram is there to help out. As things stand across the country, it is Hull, Preston and Rotherham are the only sides to be leading by this magnitude of scoreline away from home. Potter goes for the big ball forward, easily catchable, well timed there by Ingram. Less than 5 minutes of the half to go, and Hull City don't look like they just want to look after possession now and shut up shop. It's been very much plain sailing for the majority of this first half. There is still desire to get forward and maybe try and get a third before the interval. The bowler not going up for that one. Mackenzie coming in. Two younger players getting involved, and then a bit of a kick there on Mackenzie. He felt the force. Davis, Tranmere looking to try and thread their way out of a tight hole. Mackenzie slipping, still trying to win the ball, and that will be a free kick for the home side. offside flag up over on the far side. First time tonight that's happened. Prenton Park is a rather quiet stadium at the moment, but the fans have turned out in decent number for this one this evening. Average crowd in the league normally around 6,000, 7,000 mark. They're a real community here in this part of the Wirral. Stayed loyal to the club even in the darker non-league period. Fleming, now Honeyman. Bowler. Biding his time before playing in the cross. But that one will be easily pouched by Davis. McGuinness not able to really get a solid contact. Ferrier looking to try and get a good touch. And Lopez will help that one back towards Ingram. Brad McCann not too happy about something on the touchline, having a word with fourth official Andy Sykes. Lopez pushed over, that'll be a free kick. Terrell dropping into the pocket. Midfielders have been taking turns at that role this evening as the centre half split wide. Tafazoli, now Fleming. Entitled to have a drive, but Milinkovic just plays the ball back. And not selfish by the young fullback who's done well so far. Everyone from 1 to 11 has played their part in the reasoning of this scoreline. Bowler holding this one up, waiting to push the button, drives it into the box, and Milinkovic now at the back gets the shot in. That one comes off George Ray. It'll be out of play for a corner. Milinkovic wanting the opportunity to try and get another. Milinkovic. Tafazoli could get there! And Hull City do have a third before half-time. A goal in the first minute and a goal in the last minute of normal time of the first half, and Tranmere Rovers here are going to have to come up with a master plan in the second half if they are to turn around their fortunes, because Hull City have dominated this literally from start to finish. And it's 3-0 before half-time here. And dare I say, we're halfway there to the same amount of goals we got in 04-05 at the KC Stadium. And we've already notched up the same amount as the 3-1 victory here in the same season. And Ryan Tafazoli gets his first goal in a black and amber shirt. Blackett-Taylor. Tranmere in the box with Blackett-Taylor. I think there was just a single minute of added time added on. Scott Davis bringing this one back into his penalty area. Perkins. Tranmere just passing the ball around here, looking for maybe one last forage forward before half-time. Blackett-Taylor. Ferrier. Shot coming in from Potter, easily charged down. Perkins. Fleming trying to stand his ground out wide. In the end, he should have it, and that will be a free kick. So Hull City in this first half, 14 shots. It's been a long time since they've had 14 shots in one half. And Tranmere Rovers with just a solitary 2 so far. Hull City have been certainly looking for the goals this evening. Well, that's the whistle for half-time. A few boos from the Tranmere Rovers fans, but a standing ovation from the Tigers fans who have travelled over the full length of the M62 to be here. They are entitled to be elated at half-time. Hull City in one of the most convincing first half performances we have seen away from home in a very long time. Started off by John Terrell, literally seconds on the clock. He tapped home following Fleming's delightful cross. Milinkovic was able to get in on the act just 5 minutes later to put Hull City in control. They did control it in terms of possession for the majority of the first half, and it was signed off the first 45 minutes brilliantly with a stoppage time header by Ryan Tafazoli. Absolute 10 out of 10 first half performance for the Tigers, and Tranmere have got it all to do in the second half. Tranmere Rovers 0, Hull City 3. So welcome back then for the second half here of the Carabao Cup first round tie. Hull City in absolute dreamland after 45 minutes. 3 goals scored by 3 different goal scorers, all of them getting their first goals for the club this season. Milinkovic and Tafazoli getting their first goals in black and amber shirts altogether. It's Tranmere's turn though to try and get forward straight away at that end of the ground. However, this time the attack is repelled. Hull City with 3 goals, various shot opportunities in the first half, and without wishing to be too ambitious, we have been looking and checking the records just to see how many goals would be a new record away from home in a cup tie. 5 goals is the record scored at Northwich Victoria in the FA Cup, and Hull have got 45 minutes to replicate their first half to achieve a new benchmark. Milinkovic shoved over, and he has been a player who has played with such great purpose this evening. Milinkovic has looked hungry for the ball, plenty of pressing, it suits his style of play, and he's been able to be a provider for a goal and grab one himself. Bowler, who will be looking to try and get on the score sheet too, he's been hanging very wide this evening. The band has arrived in the main cop stand here at Prenton Park, trying to jeer the crowd up and get behind their side. We have a mountain to climb. Milinkovic, clever footwork, tries to cut inside. Tranmere opting to make no changes at half-time, despite the scoreline. Conceding the same amount of goals as they did on the opening day, only in one half rather than 2. And they were beaten 3-2 by Rochdale. Perkins will run into that little bit of space which Honeyman offers. Blackett-Taylor. Bowler getting back defensively to help. Tranmere asking the question of whether that should be a free kick. Looked to be a sandwich, however, not in the eyes of the referee. Here's Perkins. There is a man wide here for Tranmere, who've started this second half with good purpose, and they loft the ball into the box, nodded down, but there's no man in white to attach themselves to the ball, and the Tranmere fans actually felt that there could have been a penalty there. Didn't look too convincing from up here in the stands. Good tackle comes in. Terrell just chipping away and trying to wrestle that ball back into Hull City possession. Here's Blackett-Taylor. He fancies it from range. Crossbar denies him. And then Tranmere fire it wide. And even though they're 3-0 down, it would have been an outstanding goal to bring the utmost of celebrations from the Tranmere crowd, because that was an outrageous effort with plenty of power. It started to dip, but the crossbar said no. This one will trickle all the way back towards the keeper, Scott Davis. That was a shot which deserved the goal, but unfortunately for Blackett-Taylor, the goal dimension's not in his favour that time. Cleared away. Tafazoli lifts off the ground again and does very well to win it. Toral looking to find Milinkovic. Grant McCann will be in no rush to make substitutions, you'd feel, this evening. Looking at the strength that he's got there, he may not feel like he wants to actually waste first-team energy. However, it could be a good opportunity for Dicko to get some minutes tonight and maybe try and get a goal to boost his confidence. Ball lofted forward again. Good header from McKenzie. Fleming, he can clear that one away. It was a pretty gutsy challenge on Fleming, and that will bring a free kick decision, and it's left Fleming down on the deck. That one will have hurt. He was brave enough to go in for the ball, trying to get back to his feet, and does so. Tranmere fans are booing. However, it was quite a strong collision. Ingram plays it short. Here is Fleming getting boos from the crowd, but they'll only add fuel to his fire. Here's Terrell. Little ball to McGuinness. Fleming. Terrell again. Bowler is pointing over on the far side of the ground. He wants the ball playing to him, but Lopez off on a quest. McGuinness could maybe get to the ball. Shielded out of play. Good idea though. Through the middle channel. Bowler was dying for it out wide. Notched up a goal in pre-season against Doncaster. Scott Davis to clear this one away. And again, very commanding in the air by Tafazoli. And once more. McGuinness, though, just unable to bring that one down. It was over his head. Lopez. Now Pennington stepping out of the defence and trying to chip it over for McGuinness. It's been a more solid start by Tranmere Rovers. They've tried to make it as even as possible here against the Tigers. However, they still trail by 3 goals. It will be a free kick though, Tranmere's way. As the drummer sets up his 3rd song from his League One album. Potter. Ollie Banks. Perkins. That's clever play here from Tranmere. They're starting to get to grips as they hoist the ball in. Ollie Banks tries to get a shot in. Could still fall to Blackett-Taylor. But good scrambling defence there from Tranmere Rovers. Blackett-Taylor can only find the back of the main stand behind the goal. undoubtedly been Tranmere Rovers' most prominent threat this evening. They are trying to add some shots to their tally. Hull City in no rush to add to their collection, as Fleming has pushed forward here. Milinkovic moving in more centrally at the moment. Here's Terral, who can take his time with the ball at feet. Tafazoli, 3 on his back, 3 goals in the net for the Tigers so far. Milinkovic, who goes looking for Bowler. Well played though by the Tranmere defence. And now a free kick in a good position for the Tigers. The first one really all evening for either side, which could pose some form of threat. However, it's taken short by Honeyman to pick out Bowler straight away. Bowler drives it in, but unfortunately he doesn't get his coordinates right that time, and he can only find the sponsored tarpaulin which coats the front of the stand where the Tigers are this evening. 9 minutes into the second half. It's been a very even contest. Tranmere trying to show their hand at what they're going to try and do to try and get back into this game. Another commanding header from the defence. Mickey Mellon, the Tranmere boss, who guided them back into League One. They've had to come up with a very good plan. He certainly got them attacking though, Tranmere. Throwing caution to the wind here, they haven't got anything to lose now. Cross supplied. That one was headed by Pennington. Here's Terral. More desperate appeals for a handball claim there. Milinkovic tries to pick out Fleming. And these two have worked well on the left-hand side. Tranmere have it in their defence. Monthe looking to stride forward. Big unit from the back. Now picks out Blackett-Taylor. He tries to tee it up to the edge of the area for Potter. Magennis now finds Terral, who just canters up into the midfield. Now Milinkovic, who may just have to do a little bit himself here as reinforcements come. Magennis, unfortunately, can only pick out a supporter about 5 rows away from the top of the stand. Tom Eaves is off on a run, as he could be the first man to come off the bench for the Tigers this evening. Perkins, dragged to the ground. It will be a free kick. Honeyman not happy with that decision. And Tranmere here will just maybe try and give themselves some form of a lifeline from free kick out wide. Haven't seen too many of these this evening. It's been a free-flowing game for the most part. Completely different to the Tigers match against Reading, where it was free kicks galore given out by Matt Donoghue. Sebastian Stockbridge has let this game flow. The cross comes in, and once again the Tigers' number 3, Tafazoli, commanding in the air, has led that back line well. Clever dummy. Great drop of the shoulder by Blackett-Taylor. 5 in the box for Tranmere, and it hits the net, but the wrong side, as Tranmere's number 23 fancied going for glory himself. But again, just wide of the target. But Tranmere Rovers are certainly looking a lot more threatening in this second half as they try and scale an almost impossible mountain in trying to get back into this Carabao Cup tie. Here's Milinkovic. Bowler. Honeyman is the nearest man. Milinkovic coming right across, but Bowler's going to play it in once more. And there's no man waiting at the back stick. And there's no man waiting over on the far side as well. So just a throw in. Good block by Fleming, and he's won it back as well into the penalty area. He can only pick out Potter though for Tranmere Rovers. A little bit unfortunate for the left back. Honeyman, and then in comes a good challenge by Terrell. The midfield have worked miraculously hard so far. Milinkovic, now Fleming, Honeyman. Honeyman back to Lopez, looking to shield this as much as possible. Clever feet as well to take it away from Ferrier, and that will bring some calm as the Tigers can pass this around the defence here, because they command a very strong lead. Fleming now digs out the ball down the line, but headed well at the back stick. The back of the area by George Ray. Perkins having a run at Lopez. Tranmere are the first team to use their resources from the bench, it would seem, in preparing a substitute. Won't come on just yet though, because Tranmere have taken their free kick quickly. Ball played in, Tafazoli can just nod that one away. A little bit of a miscommunication for the first time there. Tafazoli, I think, wanted Ingram to come out and claim that one. Tranmere are going to make a double change. Quick corner this time. Driving, piercing shot. Big appeal for handball there. It goes out of play for a corner. Tranmere's big man at the back with a piercing shot, which caused a small dent in Hull City's wall as it bounced away for a corner. Well, Fleming gets something on that one. The home fans now starting to appeal for pretty much anything, because the Tigers haven't got the biggest of teams this evening. Magennis and Pennington and Tafazoli are the tallest units. Wilson just playing the ball towards Morris. And now the substitutions are going to take place, and it's going to be Connor Jennings and Paul Mullin who are going to make their way on, and Hull City are going to make a couple of changes too. Nua Dicko and Tom Eaves are both going to come on, so Dicko may go wide here and Tom Eaves up the middle, and the men coming off. First man is going to be Morgan Ferrier, who is unable to get a goal in this round of the League Cup again on this ground. And the other man who's going to make his way off is Darren Potter. 15 years ago, he was playing in Champions League qualifying for Liverpool against Graz AK. And he's been subbed off here in this Carabao Cup tie against the Tigers. The changes coming up then for the Tigers. David Milinkovic is going to be the first man to make way, and he gets a strong standing ovation from the Tigers crowd as Nua Dicko is set to come on here, and a goal tonight would really give him a confidence boost to take into the season. The other man coming off is going to be Josh Magennis, so it looks as though it could be two like-for-like changes here. And Tom Eaves makes his way on. Will he get his first goal tonight after showing great hold-up play against Reading? He will hopefully be thriving. And straight into the defensive actions here for the pair of them as it's thrown in. Pushing and shoving in the box. Brings a free kick. Tigers just losing the concentration there. Tafazoli trying to play it away. Fleming gives it back to Pennington, comfortable on the ball, trying to stride out, but Mullin doing really well, showing intent. It's Tranmere's turn to come forward, but standing firm, and in the way was Lopez, who's put in a great debut this evening. Terral goes in search of Tom Eaves with the fresh legs, and it will only be a goal kick. But Tom Eaves getting his surname echoed from the stand, the away stand here at Prenton Park. Big push in the back there by John Terral. That brings a free kick. Morris. Just a little ball down the line to find Jennings. Here's Banks. Trying to find room, trying to find a pocket of space. Here's Ray for Tranmere. Decent cross, headed away by Pennington. Ushers the defence to step up immediately. Out comes Tafazoli. Here's Bowler. Bowler looking to move it into the middle. He's dispossessed now. The Tigers just beginning to lose their bearings slightly. Tranmere into the box with Perkins. Cross comes in, and that's easy enough for Tafazoli to play away. 65 minutes gone. The Tigers haven't added yet to the goal-scoring tally they got in this first half. They've allowed Tranmere to come out and maybe try and play a little bit of football. 8 shots they've had in the second half, Tranmere. Not a single one has hit the target so far. Eaves just out-muscled. Lopez sends the ball careering into the stands. Blackett-Taylor. Jennings trying to find his man, Nuadiko back defensively. Nuadiko was the assist man for John Terral in the first round of the League Cup last year. And as things stand, the Tigers will be heading into the second round Carabao Cup draw. Grant McCann getting his instructions across and mentioned how good a cup run would be and his intention on taking the Tigers far. He took Doncaster to round 5 last year, only to be eventually stopped. Took out Crystal Palace on their way and get into the last 16 of the oldest domestic cup competition. Eaves. And back towards Lopez. The Tigers are happy just to try and pass the ball around here and let everyone get a touch. Here's Fleming. Plays it up towards Eaves. Able to chest that one. Honeyman. Clever play here from Hull. This is the build-up. Similar to the second goal against Reading. It's Bowler, though, who will shoot himself rather than supplying a cross. And now he's got to work it all the way back here and put in high energy. Has a little nibble at Blackett-Taylor. Advantage given Tranmere's way here. From one end of the pitch to the other. Shot will come in. Ingram makes a great save. Second chance. Maybe a third coming. Big block, and they're asking hugely in the crowd for a handball. In comes the cross. And somehow misses everybody. I mean, that's more of what Tranmere's fans will want. But really the Tigers now having to dig deeper defensively. A whole cluster of chances for Tranmere Rovers, but nobody in white shirts could take any of them. Well, Terrell there was sent careering to the ground in rugby-style fashion. Connor Jennings, who is Tranmere's only goal scorer so far this season. 25 goals in 115 appearances. He was the man though playing rugby that time. Honeyman going wide towards Bowler, who has played very wide this evening and has not really had that opportunity to cut inside as much as he would have wanted to. Tranmere on the press again here. The ball's still in their hands with Mullin. Shot will come in, a little deflection or two, and Ollie Banks' shot will be backed into the chest and gloves of Matt Ingram. Lopez now with Fleming, looks to go down the line searching for Dicko. Hull are preparing their final change. Dan Batty's going to come on to try and just refresh the midfield ever so slightly, sending Tom Eaves on and Nua Dicko for more goals. Is Batty now going to be a creator, and John Terrell is going to be the man to come off, and you'd have to say this has probably been his best performance in a Hull City shirt since joining the club this evening, orchestrating the midfield well and getting involved right from the get-go. And on comes Dan Batty. So Fleming's going to get a full 90 this evening. Well won by Eaves. It was a tight area though. 70 minutes on the clock. Tigers haven't really threatened for a fourth goal in this half. Damage done in the first 45. And they're trying to play out of their own defence here, Tranmere, and they just about get away with it. Well brought down by Morris. Having a little surging run here at Fleming. But Lopez again, he's been everywhere this evening in a black and amber shirt. Launches the ball out into the stand where I am, here at Prenton Park. A good ground with a 16,000 capacity. Merseyside's third team. Here's Kane Wilson, the loanee from West Brom. And that should be a foul. The first offence being committed outside the area. So Tranmere get a free kick and a free kick only, even though Wilson lost his bearings and went down inside the penalty area. First contact outside. Well, Tranmere just trying to create some atmosphere here for this set-piece opportunity. Well, Sebastian Stockbridge, the referee, is taking his time here and just calling over Honeyman just to bring an end to any nonsense inside the penalty area. It's lofted in, and that one is headed over. Reeves does well. And plays it to McKenzie. Batty up to Lopez. Lopez is caught. That'll be a free kick, and that might bring the first card of the evening as well, because it was just simply mistimed. I don't think any more action is going to come, actually. That defender there, Ray, recognised his mistake straight away. Well, this is the opportunity to maybe make it 4. And Bowler standing over it with Batty. Has fought away that inside the penalty area. This is within shooting distance. If this goes in from a direct shot, it would most probably be the goal of the evening. But have Hull City got other ideas? Tigers fans wait patiently. It is Batty's delivery, and that's Tranmere's header. Honeyman, not many options back down the touchline. And Tranmere defend that one very well. Bowler puts in a challenge, that'll be a free kick. And that brought a bit of anger from Ollie Banks. It's a good block there by Honeyman. Wilson, good job Bowler didn't catch him there. And on he goes into the penalty area. It's Bowler's cross. And it will actually only be a goal kick. Bowler was convinced that that came off a Tranmere man last. Not to be. Tranmere coming forward. This thing stands 4 championship clubs crashing out to lower opposition. Tranmere trying to reduce the task, but they shoot wide of the target. You have to say time is running out for him now to come back with anything. Ball played forward, but it will be brought back for a free kick when Dicko was about to be cleaned through. Down the line for Connor Jennings. Perkins. Jennings again. And then cleared away by Batty on defensive duty. George Ray, not the most convincing. Lopez. Mullen unable to win it in the air, but Tranmere still throwing everything at the Tigers. Shot is over the top. That was by Ollie Banks. But again, they have not tested Ingram enough this evening in this second half. Yes, they've had shots, but they've been wild and wicked, and they've gone into all different areas of the crowd behind Ingram's goal in the second half. On that far side, Lopez is just having a little bit of a stretch here as he may have just tweaked a muscle. The physio's on for the first time this evening. And will this mean that the Tigers may just have to play with 10 men for the final 12 minutes here at Prenton Park? Tigers have only had 2 shots in this second half. Tranmere have thrown everything at the Tigers' defence. 13 shots, but they've only hit 2 on target. Tranmere asking the question again of Hull City as they try and play it in. Played with real attacking purpose in this second half. They've got themselves a corner again. And the final change coming up here for Tranmere Rovers is that Corey Blackett-Taylor, who undoubtedly has been the best player for Tranmere Rovers this evening, he's making his way off and he's going to be replaced by Jordan Ponticelli, who is on loan from Coventry City. And that was Tranmere's final roll of the dice from the bench. Just 10 minutes of normal time standing between the Tigers and a place in round 2. Still have that 3-goal advantage. This cross could change things. George Ray back across and then headed over. Another off-target chance for Tranmere. Certainly hasn't been a boring night in the Carabao Cup. There's been goals flying in all over the place. 3 here, and there's still time for more. Tafazoli battling here with Mullin. Morris has carved out a half-decent cross, but will run through as there's no man waiting at the back of the penalty area. In comes the cross again. Once again nodded away by Tafazoli. But once again, the Tigers having to dig deep and try and entrench themselves in their own penalty area. Wilson, Banks. It's headed away to safety by Mackenzie. It's just going to come straight back onto the edge of the area for Jennings. Banks again, feeding it to Jennings, all over the place. That's a decent cross to the back stick, and Ingram this time making sure of covering his post, but the ball went wide of the target before Ingram was called upon, but he made sure he got to his post. And Tranmere with a good chance late on, and fair play to them here because they are showing they've still got pride, spirit and fight in this Carabao Cup tie, which looks to have now deserted them. Tranmere still plugging away here, just looking for a goal to enhance their credibility. And Dicko couldn't win it. He and Tom Eaves haven't really had a mention in this second half since coming on as a substitute. It's all been about the defence working partial overtime. Batty gets a touch, cleared away by Lopez. Morris. Banks' cross looks decent, but out came Ingram to punch away to safety. That cross is overhit this time, and out of play it goes. Tigers fans finding their voice away to my left-hand side, knowing that the full-time whistle is fast approaching. 6 minutes of normal time or so. And what has been a rather ready salted second half for the Tigers. The spade work done in the first 45 minutes, and it's Tranmere's free kick. Tranmere with a real keen desire here to get at least one goal to take away from this match. That'll be a free kick as Honeyman is caught. Tranmere are not happy. Well, the Carabao Cup draw takes place tonight. Depending on where Hull City could end up, will they be at home or will they be away in the second round? They certainly won't want to replicate what happened last year, being beaten 4-0 by Derby. In a match where Derby and Frank Lampard's side controlled things. Here's Eves. Had slim pickings in the second half, but he could make something happen here potentially. Well worked again by Tranmere's defence. Well brought down by Mackenzie. They think about the shot himself. He does in the end. And that will be a corner. Mackenzie having the driving shot. And mentioning at half-time how in the space of 20 games or so for the club, his confidence and the difference in ability that he's got from the first round last year to the same stage. But he's showing bags of ability and fancies a shot or two. Batty to deliver. Over towards the back. Could be nodded back inwards. Should be dealt with by Tranmere, by Perkins. Tigers just finishing with a small burst here. Going in search for a cherry on top of their cake. Bowler. He's worked the space well, Bowler. Could open it up for a shot. Good block. Faint appeals for handball from the Tigers' away end. He's done well there to actually win the ball back, keep a hold of it, and then play it into another Tigers man, Pennington, and back towards Ingram. It's a well-driven ball. But Eves couldn't get onto it. One of those nights where they'll have had to be patient, the men up front, knowing that the damage was done in the first half. Because we have only got just 3 minutes of normal time left to run. Batty scrapping, trying to win it back. Banks, clever play here from Tranmere. Still giving it everything into the box. That was by Kane Wilson. He was going to try and fight to take this off Fleming in a battle of the youngsters. Banks trying to move it. He's delivered well. But again, Tafazoli commanding in the air. Dicko gets a touch, but the touchline just comes a little bit too early for him. Batty with a no-nonsense clearance. Banks. Now Morris. Fleming. Oh, he's done really well. Good strength from Fleming. He's not let up all evening. Even if he is now just clutching his leg ever so slightly after that challenge. Tranmere coming forward as we approach the conclusion of this Carabao Cup tie. Chuck in the ball again. Pennington can head. Batty can get it down. Another man in Hull City colours from the youth, who with that turn really signifies just how far he's come with game time. Here's Eves, just getting his head down and running down that channel, inviting Tranmere players to come and mark him as much as possible. He'll still fight here to win the ball, but he gives away a free kick. In the last minute of the 90. Clever ball down the line. Mullin. He'll try and get a shot for himself. He does tee it back. Good block comes in again. Bowler with good energy, good strength. Ignores Dicko. Wins it off Perkins. And it's Dicko here who's going to sprint onto this one. And even though there was quite a difference in physicality, Dicko gives away a free kick, and there's 3 minutes of time to be added on here. And that ball is offside. Ingram will happily take his time here. Monthey clears away. Mackenzie, just a little bit too much on that one. Tranmere have had 17 attempts in this second half, and only 2 have hit the target. That's been their downfall. Potentially one criticism of the Tigers is allowing all that to come, unless of course you can take it in a positive sphere and note that it will be good training practice. Here come Tranmere down the line. Maybe one last roll of dice with Mullin, and he's once again missed the target. Hasn't scored since November for Tranmere, and he looks as though he's going to have to wait a little while longer. Dicko. Not much time for the Tigers to try and get a fourth. Dicko. Batty. Trying to get the ball in. It will just go out of play for a throw-in. And maybe this will be Hull City's last chance to just rub some salt into the wounds of Tranmere. In recent times, their fans have had to endure quite a few heavy defeats in cup action. Tottenham came here last year and put 7 past them. And they've also been beaten 6-2 in recent times by Swansea. And that's it. It's Hull City who march on in the Carabao Cup. Everything done in the first 45 minutes. Tranmere Rovers endeavoured to try and get some goals back in the second half, but their chances were too wayward to really test Ingram. They were off target too many times, but the Tigers did repel most of Tranmere's offerings with blocks and being able to force them wide and make the chances more difficult. Despite making 11 changes this evening, Grant McCann's men have proved a very difficult side to beat and have proved that the attacking philosophy is certainly the way forward, with that 45 minutes display in which they battered Tranmere into their own foundations of this ground. It is Hull City who go through to round 2, and the Tigers will hopefully build a cup run, which is what Grant McCann desires. A youthful side have been a very mature team this evening and have put in a performance to savour for the Tigers fans making the trip back to East Yorkshire this evening. Full marks for the Tigers, who go on in the cup. Tranmere Rovers 0, Hull City 3.